Hey, Ty Brady here with Brady Insurance Marketing in the Ty Brady Way, one of the nation's largest field marketing organizations that helps independent agents achieve a 6- and 7-figure income with the systems and strategies that I'm going to talk about with you today.
Welcome back to another episode of the Ty Brady Way. And today I would like to talk about chasing your dreams. And a couple of things that I've really thought about is my mom was always a dreamer, and she always encouraged us as kids. I have 8 sisters, 2 brothers, and she always encouraged us to chase our dreams. And a couple of things that my mom growing up as a kid that reminded me of her, and she passed away here a few years ago, but her dream was to help all of us kids be financially free. And she did that by a couple of different ideas. Unfortunately, she did chase some of her dreams and she completed a couple of them, but some of them she was not able to do. So the first one is my mom wanted to be the next Walt Disney. And so my mom actually spent a lot of money on home equity, or pulled the home equity loan out of my dad's house and my mom and dad's house to fund designs for theme parks here in the state that I live in. And that was a big dream of hers. And she spent a lot of money chasing that dream. Unfortunately, it never came to fruition. But then there was another dream she had as well, because she thought if she had a theme park, then she could have what was called a character like, Disney, Mickey Mouse. She had a character called Spacey Love. And the idea is Spacey Love was supposed to be the positive influence in people's lives. And Spacey Love was to, she be that positive influence on kids. I don't know if when I grew up, there was these baseball cards, but they were called Garbage Pail Kids. And, my mom saw those and they had a negative connotation, and she wanted to have a positive connotation. So she came up with a character called Spacey Love. And then she had sub-characters of like Buffalo Bill, or I can't even remember all the names, but they were trading cards. And I remember as a kid, my mom had spent the money to develop these baseball cards that were character cards. And then we went around and we hustled trying to get them put into gas stations on the counter. We actually put them together in boxes. And I remember spending hours and hours and hours, trying to get a gas station convinced to buy this box of cards that had bubble gum in it. And I think to this day, I still have some of those, but they would put them on the card at the grocery store or somewhere, so then people would purchase them. And the whole idea was to be a positive influence in people's lives. Well, Spacey Love, she did that for a while, and then the money ran out because it was self-funded and it didn't take off. So it kind of got tabled for a while. And then the last thing she told me before she passed away, she's like, Ty, I want to publish my book and write it. And she also wanted to do a movie, and the movie never happened. She had some people that were willing to help her put a movie together. But all these things cost money, right? But she ended up writing that book, published the book. And then when my mom passed away, people said, how can you help? I said, hey, why don't you go and buy the book on Amazon? She found a publisher that she was able to pay, where they ended up publishing the book, and you can still buy it today. There's a little bit of royalties that goes to the trust that my mom set up. But my point in that is my mom was always chasing a dream and wanting to do something. The first dream was she wanted to help all of us as kids be financially free. She wanted to have a cul-de-sac where each of us had an acre of land and we could live together. And my mom, it was all about family. She would make sure that we all had family birthdays. She would always make sure that the grandkids or whoever would call and sing happy birthday. These are things that she instilled in me because we're a product of our environment. And I love family. Family to me is important. But chasing that dream, her dream shifted over time. And then she was able to come up with the book, publish the book, and then you can buy it on Amazon. But the book, talks about basically how we can overcome self-doubt. Like, for instance, confidence as an example, or how do we overcome the bully at school, or how do we overcome, the racism in this country. All of those things put together, she put in this book, and did a really good job. And she actually, before she passed away, she had a book tour where she was going to go to Barnes and Noble and sit there and peddle her book. And then she had little trading trinkets like keychains. And the idea with Spacey love is what she called it, is it had different colors for different moods. So if he was angry, it was red. If he was in a good mood, it could have been blue or purple or pink or whatever it is. And so the idea is that when he changed colors, that would be the mood he was in. And you could tell that from the character's perspective. And then Spacey Love had all of these pals. There were other trading cards where that you could trade amongst each other, or, you know, today we have Pokemon cards. They're really big. And if you guys know Garbage Pail Kids, if you grew up when I did, you'd know about them. And my mom just didn't like the negative connotation. She was always very positive, very optimistic, and always said, hey, you can do anything that you achieve in life. You just got to put your mind to it and hard work. So my mom was the dreamer. She continued to push all of us kids to chase our dreams. And my dad was the hardest working man I know. With those two attributes, I believe that's where I get a lot of my foundation, and where, you know, my dad worked a day job so he could provide insurance for us kids. Could you imagine 8 sisters, 2 brothers? That's why he did it. And then he was always doing a side hustle of framing a deck, building a house, drywalling someone's house, painting, whatever he could do. It was just because the day job it paid the bills, but there wasn't any money for anything extra. My dad worked from 65 to 78 driving pizza at Domino's. And with that, he was a 1,000,000-mile driver, but he loved it. And that was just my dad. So you have a dreamer and you have a hardworking. And my dad was always willing to support my mom in chasing her dreams. And I believe that I do the same thing with my family, helping my kids, my wife chase their dreams, because everybody has them. And you need to have them, or why are we here? First of all, maybe you don't have a dream. And I mean, it's difficult, right? My mom wanted to change the world. She believed she could change the world, and she wanted to do it through love. For those of you that I know you're going to ask, you know, what's the name of the book? If you go to Amazon, it's Spacey and Santa Save Christmas. And you know what? I'm not asking you to go out and buy the book, but if you feel it in your heart to go buy the book, please do. It's a legacy that my mom wanted to live and leave. Ooh. So don't ever stop chasing your dreams. And if you don't have a dream, know that dream for your kids. My mom dreamed for us as kids to have a better life, to be financially free, but it drove her to come up with ideas. And my mom spent the equity in my mom and dad's house to fund a lot of her projects and her dreams. But unfortunately, it takes money, right? It takes money or time to do both. And just know that it's never too late. My mom was 78, I believe, when she passed away. And it was unfortunate. I mean, she slipped and fell and hit her head and died because of a traumatic brain injury. But she was this close. You know, she was inches away from chasing her dream. And she was so excited and so passionate that she finally accomplished it, 78 years into her life. So don't ever give up on your dreams. But if you don't have a dream, find one. And it doesn't have to be something elaborate. Maybe your dream is to own a certain car, or maybe it's a dream vacation, or income, or salary. I talk a lot about a dream board. What does your dream board look like? And it changes too. I did a dream board way back years ago, and I've accomplished all of those things on my dream board, from the boat, the house, to the income, to, what my wife's going to look like, right? And those things drive you. You have to have motivation, because as an entrepreneur, and you're going to have dark days, and you have to have things that'll push you through. So for all of you out there, keep dreaming, whatever it is. If it's a theme park like my mom, if it's a book, if it's to be an actor, if it's to own a business, whatever that may be, chase it and don't ever give up on it. Now, all of us, unfortunately, sometimes have to have a day job, right? So don't give up, do the day job and do the stuff in the evenings. It can be part-time, full-time, or sometime. And, or like my mom, she used the equity in my parents' house to chase her dreams, and she accomplished it. For all of you out there, we're going to put the link in the bio to go and buy the book. The holidays are around the corner. And I think what got me thinking about this is we're in the process of selling my parents' house. I lived there for, like 20 years. 20 years. It was the second house I lived in. I was young when I moved into that house, and we were going through some boxes and some memorabilia stuff, and it kind of brought everything to the surface. And I'm glad that you guys listened to the show. And always share, like, and subscribe. And you guys tune out on the next one.
Thank you for listening to another episode of the Ty Brady Way. As always, share, like, and subscribe. Go to Instagram at ty.r.brady. And as always, love hearing from you. And let me know what you want to learn on the show or what you'd like me to bring up on the show. Thanks.
You can find the Ty Brady Way on Instagram as well as Facebook. To stay connected with giveaways and Ty himself, go ahead and follow at ty.r.brady on Instagram as well as Facebook. This podcast was recorded, edited, and produced by Whitney Face Media Marketing. The theme music is an excerpt from Hot Chicken of the Woods by Isaac Joel.